Hello and welcome to another Blender tutorial. This is for Blender 2.5 Alpha 1. There might be other releases after this one. Of course there will be, but anyways, a friend of mine was asking about how to put a decal onto an object that has a different UV map. So I poked around, figured it out, so I thought I'd share it with not only him, but all of you guys. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this cube. And let's just add a mesh. Gonna add a monkey. Apologize, my voice sounds a little different. My allergies are kind of wreaking havoc right now. So hopefully we can get through this. Shouldn't take too long. So anyways, I just put the monkey in the scene and then went to the edit mode and rotated it 90 degrees so he's facing forward, or she is facing. I guess her name is Suzanne, so it's a she. Excuse me. So anyways, let's go ahead and just get it fixed up a little bit. Let's go to the modifiers here and add a subdivision surface. And now we will turn the shading to smooth, so it looks nice and smooth instead of the jagged pixely edges, sharp edges. And we'll go back into edit mode, and let's go to the edge select mode and select this edge right here. I held down Alt and right click and it selected all of those in that chain. And if you hold down Shift and Alt at the same time and then right click, you can keep adding to that. And let's go ahead and outline this whole ear. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay. And do the same over here. What we're doing right here is adding seams. So this is just a quick way to add some seams to the little monkey lady here. Control E brings up your edges and you go mark seam. And it makes a nice, if you hit A, it deselects and makes a nice reddish orangey outline there for you. And that is where your seams are. Think of your seams like the seams on your clothing. That's how you're going to map it. Piece of cake. Okay, so now that we've got our seams on there, let's go ahead and tab back out of edit mode, and let's go up here to default, and we're going to go down to UV editing. And over here, let's go to texture paint, and then tab into edit mode again, and hit A to select everything. You'll see a white box appear with the line. That's our UV coordinates. So since we haven't unwrapped it yet, they're all right there in a square. So what we have to do is go to UVs and we want to unwrap, and it'll unwrap our UV coordinates right there. You can mess with these a little bit. Let's go ahead and grab the face, as you can tell right here, and let's rotate it a little bit. I'm holding down Control and it's rotating it incrementally so you can get a little bit more straight rotation. And let's scale it down a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to add a new image right here. Image, new, and I want it to be a UV test grid, so select that and just click out and it creates your grid there. So now if you tab out, or go over here and tab out and go back to texture paint, you can see your UV grid mapped onto your little monkey head. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the default layout and go right here to the object data and scroll down here till you see UV texture, and you'll see UV text is the name of that. Let's go ahead and rename it to base, and let's add a new one, and we'll call this one ear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little PNG image onto her ear right here. So the way we're going to do that is let's go ahead and tab into edit mode again and grab our faces. And let's just zoom in on the ear right here. And actually, let's turn the limit selection to visible. So click that, and we're only going to select what we can see. So if it's not selected, or yeah, if it's unselected, then you can select the whole mesh, like even the sides that you can't see. It's kind of transparent. You can see the other sides. Turn that on. It just limits to what you can see. So that's what we want. So just hit A to unselect everything. B to bring up my little crosshairs. Click and drag. And I'm going to put that decal right there. So that's where I want the new UV maps to be. So I hit U, and it's going to be different. We're not going to unwrap anything. We're going to project from the view. And now if we go back to the UV editing area, over here you can see all of the new coordinates for our ear that we just unmapped. So let's go ahead and add in a new image. I'm going to open one this time, and it's going to be on my little G drive, Blender files, my Blender 101. I'm going to put my download.png image on there. So open that, And let's go right here and go download PNG. And we'll zoom in. And I was having a little problem with this earlier. Couldn't remember exactly how I fixed it. You just got to keep playing with it. Deselect everything. No. Okay. Just select it again. Okay, there we go. And now we can see the ears right here. It took the coordinates from the previous UV map since we unwrapped that, and still applied them, but where we took the ear, it put it right here in the middle and took it off of the other one. So the way we separate them out is hit B on your keyboard, click and drag, and just select a few of these vertices on the edge of the ear, and we're going to hit L, and it's going to select all the ones that are linked to that. So just scale it up, hit the S button, until we get the little download PNG pretty well centered. And now we're going to hit spacebar, select inverse, and it's going to select all these guys. We need to move these out of the way, otherwise it's going to map these onto those as well. We don't want that. So let's just move those out, way out of here, out of the way. And now we'll tab back out, and let's go down to default again, and just to see what it's going to look like, put texture paint there, and you can see it's repeating the pattern, but we'll fix that when we go. But right now, this is the image that we're wanting, and it's right where we want it. So, okay, now we're done with the UV mapping. So go over here to the Material tab. We're going to add a new one, and hit New there, and we'll just name this Monkey. And just Monkey be fine. And now over here, go to the Texture, and we'll add a new one. And you click where it says Clouds, and go to Image or Movie, and then scroll down, and then click this little guy, and Untitled.001 is that UV grid that we made, that test grid. If you're doing this on a different model, you'll of course choose that image instead. Okay, let's scroll down and image mapping, make that expand, and that's actually not what we want. Let's see here. Apologize, I was looking through this earlier. And oh, here we are. Mapping, coordinates, generated. We don't want that. We want to go to UV. And right here, click on Layer, and you select that base UV map that we created earlier. Okay, so now let's set our camera up a little bit. Let's come back into object mode, move our light around to the front some, and move our camera here so we can see what we're doing. Hit 0 on your numpad, brings up the camera view. You just hit G if the camera's already selected. You can just move it around like so. If you hit G and hold down your middle mouse button and slide your mouse forward, you can zoom in. So there we go. Okay, so now if we hit F12 and render it out, you can see that it has that UV test grid mapped onto it, which is exactly what we want. So hit Escape to get out of your render window, and grab your monkey again, and that sounded funny, didn't it? Grab your monkey again. Anyways, go over here, and we're going to add another texture, also going to be an image, and click here, and we're going to get that download.png. And now generated also UV, click in here and click ear, but we're not done yet. Remember, it was repeated all over. We don't want that, so we click here under image mapping and extension repeat. We don't want that, we want clip. So now also we need to turn on anti-alias. Since it's a transparent PNG, it'll give it a jagged edge if you don't turn that on. So now when we hit F12, you see, well, it gave it a jagged edge anyway, it didn't. But you can see your UV grid and your little decal right there. Escape. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that ear a little bit. Maybe not quite so much. And let's try that again, see what it looks like. Okay, so anyways, that's how you put a decal on there. And we can play with some of the different settings to see if we can't make that look a little better. Maybe pre-multiply, and let's select fields, give it another render. There we go. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted, and it's a piece of cake. So hopefully this will help you out if you want to put like a policeman's badge on his chest or something like that. Piece of cake, easy to do. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned a thing or two. I'll see you later.